Anybody here? Okay, I'm starting over. Now I'm more organized. Elaine Marolakos Edelson here with Astrology Mojo and want to help you get your mojo back. I was distracted by my orange lips, which are not orange on any other screen, my husband tells me. Hey, Kate's here. Okay, we're going to be talking about cause and effect in your aura. Isn't that interesting? Energy work is really fascinating because there's so many aspects that you can discover about yourself just by paying attention. So who's here today? I see Jennifer, and happy birthday, first of all. Well, I already started, so it's not first of all. But happy birthday to the love of my life, Samuel Dean Edelson. Thank you for everything you've given me and are about to give me, because the presents just keep on coming. I love you, honey. Happy 63rd, and you're so young looking. We are eternal. Yay. Hey, Rach is here. Hi, Elaine, says Jennifer. Hi, Jennifer, says Elaine. Oh my gosh. So we're going to have a real live wingding this July, right? Because we've been talking about the eclipses, solar eclipse in Cancer on July 2nd, 10 degrees, lunar eclipse in Capricorn on the 15th at 24 degrees. It's already in play. On top of that, Mercury in retrograde. We are really, really zooming it up around here. That's why I wanted to talk about this. And the etheric body, the astral body, the emotional body, I'm going to talk more about it on Monday. I will be back on July 1st, but I wanted to touch on it now so you can start to get familiar with it if you're not familiar with it. But first of all, I keep saying first of all when I've already been speaking for a few minutes. Other than that, come say hello to me. Who's here? Hi, Kate's here. Jennifer, yes. Happy birthday to Dean. So, yeah. All right, I've got my happy cards ready. I've got all my crystals. And it's also a new Feng Shui month. I don't know if you can see this. This is my labradorite crystal. And when the light is right, there's a huge rainbow in it. It's a very beautiful stone. I don't know if it's going to catch the light today. No, not that. Anyway, so I've been working with that as well. And I got my clear ones all over the place, as you can see, my crystal palace. And when I start to move energy to help myself heal or to let go of something, right? Because we're always accumulating things. I find it really fascinating that through technology, I think it was in the 1950s, and we'll talk more about it again on Monday, but Carillion photography came into play quite by accident, where electromagnetic energy was photographed in fingerprints and in plants. And also then it became a pretty big thing in the 80s to have your aura photograph taken. You've seen those, right? Or maybe you've had that done. Well, that's part of what I'm talking about with cause and effect. There are many universal laws of cause and not just cause and effect. There's the law of abundance, the law of attraction. We can go on. There's the law of visualization. There's the law of detachment, right? The law of reciprocity. There's so many laws. And, if you break the law, what happens if you break the spiritual law? Nothing. Except you don't get what you want. Not as soon as you'd like it anyway. So please, let's all just remember that law is a word, and we are sometimes affected by words. So it may be, we can call it a mandate. It can be a suggestion, right? It doesn't have to be a law. It can be, here's how things work on Earth. And because you're in a body, here's how else things work on Earth. That, gravity exists. So if you throw a ball off the roof, it's going to fall to the ground. And that's a law. Gravitational pull is a law. So when we're looking at the entire body and how it works, it's not just the physical form. And I mentioned this in the last Facebook Live that I did, that, essentially if you're in a room with a bunch of people, you're already on the other side of them. You're already feeling them. How can you not, right? Because our energy is always moving. Our energy is always, our frequency moves with our emotions and our thoughts. And what's really fascinating is that when someone has, let's just say as an example, you work all the time. You're working. You're stressed. You never give yourself a break. You never stop moving. And then here comes vacation, and there's 10 more details to do and 100 more details to do before you can get on vacation. And then when you're on vacation, you get sick. Do you think that just happens? Maybe you do. Well, auric photography, Carillion photography, can show you that it doesn't. An illness will show in your aura field, in your auric field, in this 7, well, there's actually 12, but we're just going to talk about a few today, and then we'll talk more on Monday. There's several energy bodies outside your physical form that already show the accumulation of energy. And the different types of energy and the different colors of energy all matter. And literally, it's a pun, because as soon as you keep your focus on a thing, wherever you put your attention, that's where your focus goes. That's what manifests. So if you're constantly stressed, hi, Christine. Oh, what is that? Top fan? Are you my fan? Oh, I have fans? Yay. Where were you when I was in menopause? I needed fans all the time. Thank you. So what happens is wherever you put your attention, that's what grows, right? So, oh my God, I can't get out from under. I'm always working. It's always stressful. And then by the time you get on vacation, your body then has a moment to relax, or 7 moments to relax. And then that's when the physical manifestation of your stress becomes the effect. So, you know what I like to say? Cause takes time to effect. So what's the cause? The cause is your focus and your intention. That's the cause. Whatever action you are, centered on, that's the cause. And if you can look at different aspects of your aura, and I'm going to show you images of those on Monday, July 1st at 10 a.m. And did I? No, I didn't. So let's just say your physical form is your earthly representation. It contains your organs, and it's got all of your, your fluids and your energetic systems, your nervous system. It's all your systems are here contained in your body, and you need that, right? Because if you want to be in a form, to move around on the earth, you need your body. Now, the next body that comes into play is the right next to it could be like a faint milky white aura, really. And it's the physical body and then the emotional body. So the two are right next to one another. And the emotional body contains all of your emotions. So if you're feeling something, it shows in that layer of your body. Isn't that pretty fascinating? And that shows in Carillion photography, and that shows in auric photography, where you put a hand plate on. I'm not talking about the kind with the microphone. You've seen those, or maybe you haven't. They're not as accurate. And I'm going to show you a picture of one that's pretty darn cool, actually, that I tested without anybody knowing to see if it was accurate. Then comes, there's the astral body, then there's the etheric body, and all these bodies that surround you, they expand. And each has to do with a different aspect of your awareness, your attention, your expression, your feelings, your emotions, your physical manifestations. Maybe you're hungry, that will vibrate in your aura. Maybe you're really depressed, that shows in your aura. And so it's really cool when you experiment. It was told to me so many years ago, and it just happens to be true, that I am like I hate to use the phrase guinea pig, but it's like I'm the beta tester on the planet. So when I experience something, I do my best to look at, is there scientific evidence behind it? If not, what is the spiritual experience that I had? And it doesn't mean it's going to be the same for you, but what might it be for you if you had this experience? And why would you try this herb or drink this tea or experience this auric photography? So a long time ago, let me tell you a story. How's everybody doing today? Give me thumbs up, hearts, hello. What sign are you? I see we have a Gemini, and then we've got a Virgo, and then we have a Sag and a Cancer. Who else is here? Come say hello. Okay, so I was rearranging my office before, and there's stuff on my desk that doesn't need to be here. All right. So let me tell you this story. A long time ago. Don McLean, who remembers him? So I used to work at Whole Life Expos, and I would give readings at Whole Life Expos. And so I was at this one in, I believe it was New York or New Jersey. I can't remember. It wasn't Connecticut. Anyway, it was one or the other. So it was big, thousands of people coming, and I was signed up to do readings. And then I took a break, and then I walked around. And, when you do 2 hours worth of readings, you're just wide open when you're a reader, and, the flow is coming. And I know my aura colors, especially when I'm working. I know how it feels, and I know what I look like. I've seen my aura many times, and not just through photography. So I walked into the main room, and off to the right, and this was maybe 1980, 5, 6, 7, 8, somewhere, probably 89 or 90, somewhere around there, late 80s, early 90s. And I saw a line for this big machine and a hand plate. And so I went over and I spoke to the owner, and he was talking about this particular aura machine and what EMF waves it picks up and heat registers. And then I was looking at the results. People would sit, put their hand, they would clean off this metal plate. A person would put their hand on the plate, and they would sit and get calm for 30 seconds because it was a new experience, and that shows in the aura. And your aura changes every time you change your mind. Every time you change your feelings, your aura colors are changing. So you're a constant rainbow. That's why I talk about rainbows and being sparkly. And so I'm watching people get calm, and put their hand on this plate and this chair. And then they just smile at the camera, or they look, they're told to look, in a certain direction. And then, they get processed through, and let's wait for your photograph to come out. And then the next person, they clean the hand plate. Take 30 seconds to a minute to get calm and focus. So I already knew, being so open, what I looked like and what my colors were and who helps me when I give readings. And so I wanted to test it and say, is this a real thing, or is this person cheating people? And, my gut said it was real, but I wanted to experience it. So I sat down, they cleaned the hand plate. I put my hand on the plate, and I took in a nice deep breath, and I exhaled. And this was the picture that came out. This was me after 3 hours of readings. And I'm a magenta aura, and I carry the fire orange, which is healing energy. And I also have, you see the rod. Well, this photograph is laminated. So the kind of modeled look at the top of the picture is from the lamination. But you see the orange rod that comes down the side of the picture. That's a direct connection. That's a channel. Not just from the top of the head, which you can see the aura. And there's also above this photograph, which you can't really see in the lamination picture. There are faces. So as I channel information and energy, I become very balanced on one side. And I'm just going to move this. It's a little big. And I become balanced on not just one side, both sides with white light. And that is pure conscious love. That's the wow. That's the big wow, right? That's the wow, Brad. And then there's the magenta, which is the intuitive information. And then there's deeper colors. There's the fire orange. That's physical healing, which I used to do laying on of hands. And then there's, in the original photograph, you can actually see in the white circles, there's ultraviolet, ultra blue. And that's also a different level of healing and information from ETs, etc. And so when I took this, and I sat there and they took the picture of me, and then it came through and I went, yeah, that's pretty much what I look like. So this is cool. And I turned around and I said, then I became a spokesperson. I went, oh, you need to sit in the chair. It's only $20 or whatever it was. It's like, oh, you got to get your aura picture taken. And what I was looking for today, also in the mess that I am cleaning up, was a picture that we took at another fair that I was not giving readings at. And I had just moved, Dean and I had just moved to California. We were in the middle of boxes and getting stuff. And, for me, it was stressful. But I didn't realize how stressful until I saw, oh, there's another big fair. And so I had my aura photograph taken, and I looked like Jimi Hendrix with an orange and with a yellow afro on my head. That's all you saw was this yellow. And it was like stunned. I was in my head, mental energy was everywhere. And the heart was closed. There was no fire orange. There was no balance, right? So I was in a stress mode, and we had lost a lot of boxes that never got to us. So we lost hundreds of CDs and a lot. So there was a lot of stress going on. So I thought, oh, I'll just go to this fair for the day and have a good time and relax. And I had my picture taken. And I wanted to show you that too. I'll see if I can find it for Monday. But isn't it fascinating that you emit a frequency that results in a color? And those colors are constantly morphing and changing due to your focus, your feelings, your expression, lack of thereof, and your intentions. So let me just read. Hello. Hi, Diana. Hey, Diana, you're a Leo. I'm so glad. I was actually thinking about you this morning. I hope you're doing well. Laura Lee, Aries. Oh, you figured out how to comment. I'm sorry you were having trouble. And Becky, thank you for this beautiful video. You're so welcome. All right. So what I'd like you to think about doing when, because we're already in the energy of these eclipses and the Mercury in retrograde, first in Leo, then in Cancer, Cancer solar eclipse, Capricorn lunar eclipse. And if you have any Leo, Capricorn, Cancer in your chart, you will feel this more than most people, but you're going to feel it anyway because we can't hide. We can't hide from energy. We cannot hide from energy. So what I'd like you to do is, if you haven't booked a reading with me yet, I think Dean can post the link, or you can go to the Book Now, the blue Book Now button for your, I've got 4 left, Eclipse Power Hour sessions, and I'm going to show you where the portals are opening up in your world where you can fast track your life, your situations, your health, your wealth, your passion, your purpose, anything you wanted to create. And remember that you too are channeling. You too are pulling it in. So during these very powerful days, pay attention to your dreams. Keep a dream journal at hand. Remember, I talked about this in a previous video, is that when you first wake up in the morning, well, before you go to bed at night, right before you go to bed, you write a little paragraph about your day. I did this, that, the other thing. And this is how I feel. And this is how I would like to feel. And this is my intention. Simple. And then dream. And you will dream. You may not remember your dreams, but everybody dreams. And then when you wake up, as you wake up, remember, you're about to bridge the worlds. You saw that rod in the picture of my aura. You see, oopsie. You see the rod coming down on one side of me? Okay, well, there's many others in this photograph that you can't see, but the rod is that's a channel So as I bring it in, I extend it outward toward you. And I want you to do the same thing. And you probably already do and don't even realize it. You see how powerful you are? You've clicked your heels 3 times, haven't you, Dorothy? Okay, you can go home anytime you want. and so when you wake up, just close your eyes, go back into your dream, open your eyes, don't move. Whatever you're staring at, it could be the corner of the pillow, part of the blanket, the windowsill, whatever it is. Just close your eyes, go back into your dream, open your eyes, and you will actually create the bridge between all the realities. I want to say that this is the waking reality, but it's really not. We just feel like it is because that's where we have concentrated attention. Dreams are also a waking reality. You're just in a different state of consciousness at the time. So, as you remember your dreams, write them down. As you become more present in as many moments as possible, oh my gosh, what happens when, and I was talking about this earlier, if you just joined me, what happens when you are thinking about something over and 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 over. It's like, oh, I had an argument with my friend and it's really awkward and I see her at work every day and I'm going to take a different entrance into the building because I don't know if I want to talk to her. And so whatever's in your aura, it's going to show, first of all. If you could, wouldn't it be awesome if we put on our aura glasses and we can see everybody's aura and we go, oh my gosh, she feels so down. Let me go over and cheer her up. Let me say hello. Say those earrings look beautiful on you. Or look at that person. They're just vibrating. I want to be in their aura and, breathe it in. So whatever you're experiencing is going to be in your aura. Now, you may feel it before you see it if you're not attuned to seeing auras. And remember that no matter what you're feeling, cause takes time to effect or affect. And so it could be days, weeks, months, years before, if you're focused on the same thing, that thing becomes real and it manifests. Emotions, feelings are the barometer of what your emotions are doing, right? So thoughts and feelings go together. I talked about this in a previous video as well. Thoughts and feelings go together. So when your thoughts change, your emotions change. So it all changes in your colors and your aura and all your fields. And so when you're able to bring it in a little bit more every day, every minute, every hour, and say, oh, wow, I was feeling something. Let me change my feelings. And it may take a while through all the different processes that we've talked about. It may take a while to let it go so that you can refocus, right? Breathing always helps to bring you into the center. We want to always breathe and come to the center. And when you are able to align body, mind, spirit in a shorter amount of time, what changes in your auric field has a less intense cause and effect. Does it make sense? So that if you're thinking about something for weeks and you're just brewing and stewing and wallowed in it, whatever it is, it's going to show, and then eventually you're going to feel it. So emotions take a while to find a place to rest in your body. Illness does the same thing. It doesn't just happen. It's not just, oh, I woke up and I had a head cold. No, you didn't. Your body's expressing it because the body is denser, and denser energy takes time. It's slower. So where it may have taken weeks, months, even years for you to get to this situation, sometimes we're thrown off axis when, the doctor says, oh, yeah, this is happening. And you go, where did that come from? I'm a happy person. I, give at Christmas. And so you start to negotiate all this stuff. So what I want you to do is, especially during this very emotional couple of months with the eclipses, is no matter what's happening in your brain and in your body, I want you to come back to alignment, okay? See how you can focus and say, oh, wow, name what you're feeling, number one. Oh, wow, I just realized I was working, and I'm so hungry, and I'm hungry. I need to take care of myself. So I'm going to stop what I'm doing and go eat. Great. You've just eliminated a whole slew of things that could be swirling in your aura. Or somebody walks by and they're going through whatever they're going through, and they slight you. And you go, oh, wow, that didn't feel good. I don't like that. Why did they do that? And then you start head casing. And then you think about all the times that anybody else has ever done this to you. And you say, we're going to inhale, we're going to exhale. And we're going to let that go as best as we can. If you need to, you write about it. You talk to your higher selves and you dream about it. And so the whole purpose is, as you let things go, you're going to get closer to how you really feel. Like, oh, you know what? They're going through a bad day. I was just feeling insecure. It's not about me. Or if it is directed at you, you need to, what? Boundary? Yes. And then open your mouth and say, wow, I'd like to talk to you about something, and I don't appreciate that exchange earlier. Is there something going on? Do we need to discuss something? And how can I help? So you want to have a very compassionate conversation around icky feeling situations. Okay. Let me just check in with everybody because I see there's a bunch of comments here. Hi, Karina. Hi, Tony. Hey, beautiful soul, you too. And, I'm just going to take a drink. I'm so excited. I'm having some Arcturian healing energy coming up today, and I'm very thrilled about it because it's, part of my ET family channeling. Just like our machines before Mercury in retrograde, you want to do maintenance. You need maintenance too. Energy work, breathing, meditation, Tai Chi, yoga, walking, gardening, cooking, being present in as many moments as possible, right? That's only going to help. So I want you to take this with you and practice this and come back and tell me your experience. And if I'm doing another talk and it has nothing to do with this topic, that's okay. You can still comment and say, hey, a few weeks ago, I saw your video on the replay on your YouTube channel or on Facebook, and I was working with, cause and effect, and I practiced this energy exercise, and here was my result. I would love that. Thank you. So I want you to consider a situation, not one that's been, years in the making, like, oh, every time I see my cousin Janie, no, I'm talking about the one that's happening now. That's happening now, but yet it feels like it's happened before. And it can be that situation where every time you see your cousin Janie, it's awkward or something. But then I want you to ask yourself, where else do you feel that same feeling? Okay, makes sense? Some icky, sticky situation feeling. Where else have you felt it in your life? And start notating in a journal or on a piece of paper. Because if you carry that in your aura, an insecurity, a karmic event, and karmic energy gets passed on in the aura. So when you're born, you bring it in. If you were harmed by particular people in your last incarnation or any of your incarnations, and you come in and you're like, my soul's objective is to clear this karma. It will show in your etheric and catheric bodies. And so more on that on Monday. So, that's why you'll think about it. That's why you'll bump into people that feel familiar, or you bump into people. And, once a long time ago when I lived in New Jersey, I was going to be working with a channel, and she was testing me. Her name was Agnes, and she was, kind of helping me along because it was new to me, and it just boom happened. And I was wide open, and I needed a mentor, and she didn't live but 20 minutes away. And how fortunate was I? Anyway, she said, come to my group. And I went to her group and I met these other women, very lovely women. And then there was one woman that I met, and I said to Agnes, I dreamed about her, except it wasn't her, but she felt exactly the same. She said, tell me about this dream. And I said, well, before I came to your group to meet any of these women, I dreamed that, and I remember this so clearly. I said, I dreamed that I walked up these steps, and I described her house, which I hadn't been to yet. I dreamed that I walked up these steps, and there was a little statue by the door, and it looked like a shishi lion, which I don't have one with me, but they are if you practice feng shui, which we do, or if you're Chinese, you might understand what a shishi lion is. They're protective lions and for energy. And I said, I walked past that and I met a Muslim, and he was dressed in the and I described the person. And I said, this person does not look familiar to me and I've never met it. And then I passed by a reflection and I was a Buddhist. And so the Muslim and the Buddhist were in Agnes's house and I was the Buddhist, and I was talking to the Muslim and the Muslim did not like me. And I felt threatened and I felt awkward, and it was, and so I was relating this dream to Agnes, and she said, well, I want you to come to the group and meet the people. So I did. And as soon as I met her, it was the Muslim. So this karmic person had caused me harm previously. And in the group, she challenged every single thing I said. And in the group, I was very kind and calm. And I thought, okay, I need to work this out because I don't want to be carrying this person around with me, in the future. Right? So one day she said, well, let's just go out to lunch. And I was like, okay. And we went out to lunch and I was just me, and we were talking and I was telling her about where I lived and what I did and all that. And she goes, oh, you're not so terrible after all. And I thought, wow. I said, well, I don't even know you, and why you would think that I'm terrible. I said, is that an energy thing for you? And she goes, oh, I guess so. And I said, well, that's something to explore, but yeah, have caused you no harm. And if it comes from a previous experience, well, then maybe we can just call it that, make peace, and be kind to one another, and, be done. And we did. And it was. And that's gone. So you will have experiences where you meet people and you go, oh, I resonate so much with this person. And they're my long lost love. They're my soulmate, of which there are many, not just one. Or icky feeling, but they keep coming back. It's like they keep bumping into them. So that's in your field. That's in your energy field. Isn't that fascinating? Let me see. We have some comments here. Talking Mercury's retro. Someone hacked my email. I can't get my email since Monday. Oh, that stinks. And during this particular retrograde, it's going to feel dramatic, and it's going to feel like you're just about to walk out the door because you have your entire day planned and there's fire engines at the end of the street and you can't get past. Or as in our situation yesterday, we were somewhere. We were on time. My husband and I were on time to an appointment. But the other person was delayed because someone was delayed in the morning, 30 minutes. And so that just backlogged the entire day. So an hour later, we're still waiting. And I had to call my next appointment and say, we have to reschedule. So it's going to be like that. And when email gets hacked, just make sure you have numbers handy. And I want you to future project. Remember, this is happening now. If you are in a situation that is causing you distress or annoyance, I want you to future project the effect. The cause is now. It's like, oh, somebody hacked my email. So that's the cause. And how you choose to feel about it is up to you, because what you feel, what you express or don't express, is going to get projected in your aura, which will get projected into manifestation. It becomes even more intense. Then it becomes tangible. Does that make sense? So what you want to do instead is say, someone hacked my email, but it all got worked out so effortlessly, so smoothly. I got the help that I needed when I needed it the most. And I am so present with the fact that I need a few extra boundaries. So when everything gets cleared up technologically, I'm going to make sure I have, I change my passwords and I take care of whatever I need to take care of, but it all is worked out now. Make sense? Stick with a present tense for your future effect. And I'm going to pull a card for everyone. I still can't figure out why my lips look so orange, honestly. I have like a magenta color on. I'm so drawn to magenta and burgundy. And we can know what, look at my mouse is purple. Happy cards. How is everybody doing? Do you get this information? Does this make sense to you? Do you understand what I'm talking about? That the cause that's happening now, the action, the a situation that's happening now is dependent on you to see what the effect will be. Cause and effect. If I throw something at the wall, the effect will be smashing, breaking, chipping the paint. If my feelings are such that in a situation where I am upset about something, it's up to me and my power of being present, my presence of mind, to feel my feelings, not to negate them and jump over them, but to feel my feelings, to understand what I'm triggered, what's triggered me, why, to get clear on all of these things. And then I future project in the present moment the effect, which will be, oh, how frustrating. We were waiting here an hour and da-da-da-da-da. Okay, what I see is happy smiles and it's all going to work out, and it's worked out fine. And I will get what I need. My needs are met, even if I don't know how to meet them. That's inviting your higher self, inviting all energies, benevolent, compassionate energies, to help with a clear, calm, healthy sign. Make sense? Okay. Oh, this is an interesting card to pull at a time like this. Hey, it matches my lipstick. Reciprocity. Let's just talk about reciprocity for a moment. Yes. Yes, one. Yes, one, Commander. Kate says, yes, one. Is that a typo? Reciprocity. I've talked about this before, but I'm just briefly going to go over it again, and then we're going to wrap it up, and I'll be back on Monday, July 1st, talk more about the different types of bodies that we have outside our physical body. Reciprocity, people think, is I give to you, and then you're going to give back to me. That is not reciprocity. We would like it to be, especially when I've written so many Christmas cards to this person. I've given so many presents that I don't get anything. Reciprocity is the understanding. It's a law of the universe, and it is the understanding that when you give to whomever, whenever, with compassion, without the expectation of getting back, you will then receive that plus times 10. Make sense? I'm going to say that again in different words. But first, I'm going to take a little vitamin drink mix. Reciprocity is not always what we think it is, because we want to get back to the thing or to the person that we're putting into. We want that return on investment, and it doesn't always come. And it doesn't come when we think it's going to come. And sometimes, a lot of times, not from the person we give to. So if you can imagine a well, and in this well, it's being filled with all of your giving, and you just keep giving, and throughout time, throughout this lifetime, let's just pick this lifetime, you're giving, and you give to that person, and you make a donation here, and you do that. Ask yourself why you're doing it. If you're giving with the intention to get back, that's going to come to some really sticky situations and some resentment, because wherever there's expectation, there is resentment. And so when you think about the motivation for giving and forgiving, the motivation, when it comes from compassion or joy or that feeling of bliss, energy, what's happening is you are creating an energy field that will then draw to you more of that, what you have just expressed. Make sense? Yeah. You actually open yourself to getting back big time from expected and unexpected sources. When you give without obligation, when you give without expectation, when you give from a place of compassion, joy, bliss, exuberance, happiness, you get what I'm saying. When you give from those places, what you get back is more because it's in your aura. And in your aura, all those bodies I'm talking about, mental, emotional, astral, etheric. And so when you start to vibrate those frequencies, what you'll get is what you need the moment you need it the most. And that takes a lot of courage and trust, which is what I'd like you to develop even more, like a muscle. Work on it. Yeah. Be sparkly. Be effervescent. You are filled with rainbows. And so for any of you who've had a reading with me, who are about to have a reading with me, even though my face is younger in this photo, basically, this is what I look like when I give readings. That kind of cool? I think it's cool. All right, my friends, I'll be back Monday, July 1st. And remember, even though the timing of these things may sound specific to a date, my information is evergreen. And what do I say, folks? Aside from wisdom comes from knowing the order of things, is that the planets don't make you do anything, that we live in a cooperation, so that when the planets make a move, you feel it. When you make a move, the planets reflect that in the heavens by way of aspects and angles. And we're going to be talking more about the eclipses coming up. Remember, click on the link to book now. I've got 4 readings left to offer for eclipse power sessions. And in the meantime, be well, be sparkly, be present, and I'll be back.